Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all well. This is the first video I've shot in 2020, believe it or not. I've had quite a lot of videos backed up since before Christmas and the NAMM show, so this is the first one I'm shooting in the new year, which is kind of cool. So this video is all about Music Man guitars. As some of you know, I own a JP15, the John Petrucci signature, and I love that guitar, and I've done lots of videos with Ernie Ball as well. It's really nice to know those guys, and this is a really cool video. So we're looking at the brand new Music Man Sabre guitar. Now there are 4 Sabres in the range that they released this year at the NAMM show. I have one of them, which we're going to be looking at, and I'll explain a little bit about the spec and the changes between the different models. This guitar is made in the US. This is made in the Californian factory, so it is made with absolute precision, expertise. It's an awesome built guitar of the highest spec, as you would expect from buying an American-made Music Man guitar. So without further ado, let's take a look at the brand new Music Man Sabre. Okay, here we go. This is the Music Man Sabre in Bougie Burst, which is really funny because Hannah and her friend Sylvia have been using the word bougie recently before I saw this guitar, and I found it a really funny word. Me and Pete have coined that phrase as well. So when we found out that this was called the Bougie Burst, it really cracked me up. It's kind of like a tobacco-y, sunbursty kind of vibe, but a little bit more moody looking, a little more bougie looking. As you can see on the close-up camera, it's an absolutely stunning flame maple top, buck matched perfectly, and you can see the reveal binding as well all the way around, which is really nice, because I personally love that, where you can see the sort of flamed maple figuring of that wood top, and also it's kind of, as you can see, it's kind of bound onto the front of the body as well, which I really like. I just think it outlines the guitar really nicely. We've got a tone and a volume. There's no push or coil split or anything, just straight up tone and volume. We've got a 5-way blade switch, double humbucker. We've got the Music Man tremolo system here. We've got a rosewood fretboard. We've got a roasted or baked maple neck. As you can see, there's a bit of a flame in that as well. And then we've got the Schala locking tuners, which I absolutely love the Schala locking tuners. In fact, it was because of the JP15 I spec'd Schala locking tuners on my new signature guitar as well, because they're fantastic. We've got stainless steel frets, a Kumi body. That's a new type of tone wood, which I've not heard before. But to be fair, it sounds really good. The pickups are their own voicing. They're kind of articulate. They got a nice amount of grunt to them, nice amount of mid-range. They're not super high output, and I think that it gives off kind of a Les Paul-y kind of tone. It's like very present in the mids and the high mids and stuff. It's not the beefiest chugging guitar, but then again, I don't think it's designed for that. I think it's more about riffing, rock, lead, maybe even some fusion stuff like that. A 5-way blade switch is really cool because it incorporates the type of wiring that I personally love, that I've incorporated into my own guitars as well. It's a great configuration. So in position 1, you've got a full bridge pickup. In position 2, you have the 2 outer coils of both pickups. In position 3, you have both humbuckers on full. In position 4, you have both the inner coils of both pickups. And then position 5, you have the neck. It's just simple, but you get a lot of tone out of it as well. You know, having those blends, those split blends, you can go from like a nice mid-present lead tone to like a chimey clean, you know, by just flicking your channel and your pickup switch. Other things to point out are things like the neck being slightly wider. Still, it's quite a thin neck. One thing I find about Music Man guitars, specifically the JP15, and this is very similar, is a very thin neck. Now that's something that lots of people love. It allows you to play faster, more comfortably. It's, in a lot of ways, it's more helpful for you as a player. I personally prefer a thicker neck. You got the 5-bolt neck joint, dot inlays, truss rod wheel at the base of the neck there, which is quite nice, easy to adjust. It's pretty simple, straightforward guitar. It's a lovely shape, lovely contoured body, double humbucker, 5-way blade, volume and tone, trem, what's not to like? So yeah, this is the brand new Sabre line of guitars. As I said, this is just the one of the 4. This is the Bougie Burst, but they're all awesome. I'll quickly read to you some of the features of the other guitars. They've all got Akumi bodies, they've all got flame maple tops, they've all got roasted maple necks. Yeah, everything else is the same across them. They just have different coloured hardwares and fretboard woods. The different finishes we've got are the Blue Moonstone, which is a really nice, moody kind of, almost like the Luke looking guitar. That's got an ebony fretboard, but everything else is the same. Then we've got Honeysuckle, which is like a nice honey burst with a maple neck and fretboard roasted, and everything else again is the same. This one is the Bougie Burst, and this has got the rosewood fretboard. And then finally, my personal favourite is Cobra with the matte black hardware and pickup covers, and it's got the flamed roasted maple neck and fretboard in that really cool sort of dark, almost like cola kind of colour. I'm going to be using this one into the VX100, running into the Universal Audio aux box, and we're just going to go over a couple of cleans and a couple of high gain tones, and so I can show you what the guitar sounds like. Any reverb and delay you're hearing from the aux. Neck pickup we'll start with on a clean channel. Here we go. So it's a really nice sounding neck pickup. It's, like I say, something about it's Les Pauly to me. So I'm loving that. We'll move to position 4 actually. We'll go backwards. So this is going to be the inner coils. One thing to point out is that it gets quieter because although we're splitting to essentially a single humbucker, it's between 2 different pickups, so yeah, it just loses a bit of volume, as you can hear. Thing is, I'd probably use that with a compressor or maybe a little bit more gain, like on a crunch, to give me my volume from that. And also, it's so articulate on that kind of sound. Like, for example, if I just kick in the crunch, so this is without, and then if I add the crunch, you'll notice how it gets a little bit more, well, it gets louder, but you get more range from the dynamics. There's a really nice harmonic overtone there. So an absolutely wonderful split coil sound on position 4. I've put it back on the clean. We're now position 3, both humbuckers engaged. So that was position 3, both humbuckers engaged. Now I've gone to position 2, that's both outer coils. It's worth mentioning that this trem is sat flush with the body. Obviously you can loosen off the springs, which would lower the pitch of the string, so you'll tune it back up to get a bit of a higher action on the trem, so you can do, you can pull back and push down. But this is set up to be flush with the body, so for the sake of ease, we'll keep it that way. Anyway, this is position 2, both outer coils clean. Again, it's lost a bit of volume, so let's just throw it on the crunch. It's a really nice guitar. I'm just getting a bit carried away, and that's what I love about the Music Man stuff. They're really easy to play. It doesn't feel difficult to play these guitars. And I like that position 2 outer coil sound with the crunch. It's really dynamic, you know? Okay, bridge. So I'll do it on the clean, but obviously it's a bridge pickup, humbucker, so it's going to sound quite honky. So that's what you get on the bridge with the clean, so I'm going to put the crunch in now. Great. It's a really good guitar. I don't really know what else there is to say at this point, you know. We've gone through the pickups. I'll probably do some high gain, but, you know, as far as I'm concerned, just sitting with this about half an hour before doing the video and then getting to play it in the video, it's just like, it's an absolute beast. So yeah, well impressed with that. Anyway, let's move on to some high gain. Okay, so we're on the high gain channel, the VX100. We've actually got the preamp focus as well, which is like a tube screamer in the front, so we can add that in. But this is what we've got. We'll start on the bridge pickup, straight in. It just sings. I mean, like I say, for me, it's got this Les Paul vibe in the way it sounds. Maybe not to you guys, but to me in the room it does. But it just sings. Tons of mid-range, tons of sustain. Do you know what I mean? It's like really articulate. Let's throw on the preamp focus. It's great. So I mean, it just sounds awesome, and it's really good for lead. The neck profile, like I say, it's super thin, so it's really good for playing fast, but also the finishing of it, it's kind of like a polished satin kind of wood finish, so it's super slinky and quick and easy to use. But yeah, just really enjoying this guitar. Let's try some of the pickup positions. So there it is. There is the Music Man Sabre, brand new for 2020. I don't have pricing because this video is being shot before their actual release, so I don't actually know the pricing, but I'll put in all the links in the description box to the information about the Sabres. As I expected with Music Man guitars, they're just precision-made instruments, you know, you really can't fault them. They're super resonant, super snappy, and super articulate, easy to play. The neck profile, although thin for me personally, you know, can't complain. Easy to use, nice and fast. It's a great guitar, and I really like the way it looks. Of course, it's like an S-type guitar. I would like to try out this the Cobra version, but either way, Bougie Burst is definitely a looker, as are all the rest. So as I say, I'll put links in the description box below. Let me know what you think, and apologies for all the mindless shred in this video. I was just definitely in that vibe of, you know, trying to get the shred licks out on such a beast of a guitar. So yeah, if you're in the market for a versatile, easy to play, great sounding and great looking guitar, then check out the new Music Man Sabres. Links in the description box. Like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you all very soon.